Before we begin this video, I'd like to start off by saying that I want to punch you so hard right now in the mouth. That's a dope-ass demon form, though, not gonna lie. I totally failed to realize that we had yet to see Vox unleashed up to this point. So, consider me impressed. I so was not expecting that at all. I want to see you crash and burn so hard right now. Anyways, hello everyone, my name is BlueRaven666, and I held off on making this video until after episodes 5 and 6 dropped, just to see if this subject would be touched upon before we get to Season 2's grand finale. Unfortunately, it's looking like we're gonna have to wait until Season 3 or even Season 4 before the show really starts to explore Angel's backstory, so here we go. Today, I wanted to talk about redemption. Again. This time, I wanted to talk about angel dust a little bit and the major bombshell Vox dropped on all of us in episode 3. That being that angel dust was sent to hell for murdering his father. Allegedly. We have not seen shit yet. But Vox did pitch a very interesting question that, once again, grabbed me by the theory brain as soon as it was asked. That being, how does one go about being redeemed for murder? Which came as a shock to me, at least. Admittedly, of all the things I speculated Angel was in hell for, murder? Not at the top of my list. Especially not patricide, aka murdering your own father. Now, Angel seems to be at least partially convinced that he can't be redeemed for this. If not him, then Vox and the rest of the V's definitely seem to be convinced that he can't be redeemed for this. But as Charlie believes, and as you all have been very vocal about pointing out in my comment sections, redemption is possible for anyone who seeks it and genuinely wants to change. And you, me, the show, we've all noticed how Angel's really been putting in the work since he came to the hotel. So, let's dissect this a little bit, shall we? How does one go about being redeemed for murder? The very first thing that came to mind is that one would likely have to feel genuine remorse for committing said murder, which I feel like Angel Dust does. I mean, the subject of his father's death clearly bothers him, as he basically begs Vox not to bring it up, and withdraws once the information is all out there. He doesn't try to defend himself or say that his father had what was coming to him. No, it seems like this is something that he genuinely regrets doing, and if he were given the chance to take it back, I feel like he probably would. Following that, I feel like the next course of action would be for the murderer to find their victim, or victims if they've killed more than one person in their previous life, and seek forgiveness from them. This is where I feel like things can be tricky. For one thing, if it's a case where the murderer has been sent to hell and all of their victims were sent to heaven, seeking said forgiveness would basically be impossible. Perhaps if tensions between heaven and hell were to ease up, then maybe Emily or one of the other angels could serve as a messenger between the two parties. But if it's a case of, like, a serial killer and multiple victims, that's a lot of forgiveness that would need to be sought after. With that, the forgiveness that the victim offers would need to be genuine. We're not going by schoolyard rules where the bully says sorry and their victim has to say that it's okay for everybody to move on. No, we need genuine remorse on the part of the killer, which in Angel Dust's case I feel like we have, and we need genuine forgiveness on the part of the victim. And this, I feel like, is going to be a problem. Because if I remember correctly, Angel's father is also in hell, and if I also remember correctly, he was not particularly kind to or fond of Angel Dust. Which brings up another issue. What if the victim, or multiple victims, don't want to offer their forgiveness? I know, as some of you, as well as the show, have pointed out, it starts with sorry. But I think, as we saw in the most recent episode of Season 2, sometimes sorry isn't enough. And I'm a person who thinks that if you have severely wronged someone, you are not entitled to that person's forgiveness. You have to earn it by working hard and bettering yourself. And if that person still chooses not to forgive you, then that's the end of that. Now, I'm sure there's a whole other discussion we could have here about holding grudges and hate weighing on the heart or whatever, but this doesn't mean that someone who committed murder would be condemned to hell for all eternity, I feel like, or that the hotel won't work out for them. In fact, there's a couple of ways that I can see their redemption playing out for them. Okay? I'm gonna give you all the happy ending first. Scenario 1. The person prevents their past victim from being murdered by another individual in the afterlife. This could be anything from an exorcist during the extermination, or another individual armed with an angelic weapon, or a hellborn or overlord that might have enough power to kill them, if not make them suffer ceaselessly and eternally. So, kind of like what Serpentius did, only instead of action versus inaction, it would be cause versus prevention. Does that make sense? Okay. That's the happy ending. Scenario 2, and what I feel like would most likely need to happen in order for a murderer to be redeemed, would be for that person to sacrifice themselves in order to protect their previous victim in the afterlife. So, kinda like Serpentius did, only instead of dying to protect a person of their choosing, it would very specifically have to be in order to prevent the death or murder of their previous victim that they killed while they were still alive. In Angel Dust's case, this would mean that he would either have to A. prevent his father from being murdered by an exorcist or another demon armed with angelic steel, or B. die in order to save his father from being murdered in the afterlife. I know, get mad at me in the comments all you want, but I thought a lot about this, and no matter which way I spliced it, it either ends with a close call or in complete and utter tragedy. Maybe it's just me. We all know my history with complete and utter tragedy, after all. Personally, I wouldn't put it past Vivziepop to leave us all on a cliffhanger, not knowing for sure if Angel Dust was redeemed or not, only to give us the official answer at the very end of a season, or hell, even the entire series. I mean, what's Hazbin Hotel without Angel Dust, am I right? Anyways, that'll be all for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. And thus, we have come to the end of my list of theories for now. And you guys haven't been too horrible since I got back into doing this. So, we'll see what I'm able to come up with after the season finale. If there are any theories you guys would like me to tackle, or you'd like to suggest another Hazbin related topic for a future video, leave it in the comment section below. My name is BlueRaven666, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!